Welcome to the Hilton Hotel in Liverpool for a press conference to discuss what is a cracking night's boxing taking place on the 13th of February at the Echo Arena. We've got an array of top talent here today, and very privileged to be sat up here with the world lightweight champion, WBO world lightweight champion Terry Flanagan, and the former interim WBA champion DERRY Matthews, who obviously will be challenging Terry for his world title on the 13th of February. Before we discuss what is a cracking top of the bill, I just would like to introduce the guys who are sitting on the table below us and just talk through the undercard, and then we'll get into Derry v Terry. So just first of all, just to introduce the guys on the table below is Kev Satchel, who, as you will know, is a top talent, and has been quietly, I think we can probably say, just making his way up through the rankings and doing everything with absolute professionalism and accuracy in everything he does. Winning the European title, I've said it a few times now, it was for me one of the most impressive performances I saw on that bill last year, and he's just gone on from strength to strength, and I'm looking forward to seeing Kev back doing what he does best on the 13th of Feb. We have introducing Selfa Barrett, who will be making, who's just signed professional papers with Queensberry Promotions, managed by Steve Wood. His father is a former British and European champ, so I'm sure he will be looking to continue the family name and make big strides in the professional game. So welcome to Queensberry, and welcome to professional boxing, and very much looking forward to working with you. Next along the line is Ryan Farag, who put in a fantastic performance to win the European bantamweight title. He's got himself a number 15 WBC ranking, and I think surprised a few people with the efficiency and professionalism of his performance. But not people who know him and know what he's capable of doing. So just congratulations to Ryan, and he'll be just keeping busy in an 8-rounder on the 13th of Feb. So I'm looking forward to seeing Ryan at the Echo on the 13th. Next on the line we have the Indian knockout sensation Vijender Singh, who is making big waves in the professional boxing game. He's 3-0 with 3 knockouts, and he's improving on a daily basis. I'm lucky enough not to have to wait to see him just on fight night to see the progress he's making. I get to go and see him training with Lee and Roon, and he's in great company with Jack Cattrall in the gym over in Manchester. And Virginia will be fighting another 6-rounder and looking to continue that knockout streak. We've just done a major deal with Star TV in India, so his I think on paper we safely say that Vijender is the most popular boxer on the planet, with the amount of eyes that actually see him fight. We had 20 million people watch his debut in India, 25 million people watch his second fight, and I can only see that increasing fight on fight. We've got big plans for him this year, and we'll hopefully be going to do a big show in Delhi in July, so it'll be an interesting year for Vijender, but obviously he's got to carry on the winning run. We'll be fighting Liverpool, fighting in London. We're going to keep him busy, and looking forward to seeing him again in a month's time. Next on the line, probably the most naturally talented boxer I think in the UK, Paul Butler, former IBF world champion. He's back on the hunt for a world title. Fantastic performance last time out. Back in the WBO rankings, where he belongs. Well, he belongs a lot higher than he is, but we're getting there again. Smiles back on his face, and smiles back on his dad's face, which is nice to see. And just looking forward to seeing Paul back where he belongs, which is at the top. No doubt in anyone's mind that Paul will win world titles again, and it will be at various weights, and he will have a long, successful career. Tommy Langford, young man who is making some very big waves as well. He's amassed a 15-0 record, quite quietly to start with, but the last 3 or 4 performances have got people talking, and he's got himself a number 6 WBO ranking, and he'll be defending his WBO Intercontinental title. Matt Yaskin, after probably, admittedly a bit of a disappointing year last year, at the time probably was, obviously not very happy about the Oval Mackenzie performance, but Oval went on to get a draw in a world title fight, so kind of puts things in perspective. He'll be challenging for the English cruiserweight title and be looking to obviously get back in the British title mix and back where he belongs as well, which is well and truly firmly at the top of the cruiserweight division in the UK and hopefully beyond. Stephen Lewis, 10-0. Naturally, unbelievable talent. One of the quiet guys. Hopefully, we'll see him come out of his shell this year as the performances get more regular and a lot more dominant. And just looking forward to seeing Stephen get in and amongst the guys in his division in Britain. So, I'd just like to open the floor for questions for the guys who are supporting this fantastic top of the bill. And then we will get into to the main event. So I'll just open the floor to any questions, please.
Tommy, Commonwealth up against Lewis Price. Neither of the biggest punches. You both started stopping people lately, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously it's a step up for me, and it's also a step up for him. It's a good domestic clash of both within the top 10, ranked within the top 10 in Britain. Got the chance to get my hands on another belt in the Commonwealth title, and like you said, I've started putting people away, and I'm feeling more comfortable in doing that, and looking to do it again on the 13th of February. And he had his best win out in his last fight against Jez Wilson. He stopped him in 5, something no one else did. So sets up for a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure I'll put on a good performance and get the result.
Zolfa, how pleased are you to sign with Queensbury?
Of course, I'm very pleased. I've been on these small house shows with me and Copac and Steve Wood, so this is a big show for me, and I'm very pleased.
Matt Yaskin, last time out against Lawrence Bennett, bit of a chaotic fight to say the least. How determined are you to go out and put that right?
Yeah, it wasn't the best. Well, it wasn't really a fight. I mean, it lasted a minute and a half into the first round. To get the rematch on such a big bill with the talent that's on show as well. I'm looking forward to putting him away and getting back up to the top 2 and 3 in Britain.
Seems to be a natural dislike between yourself and Lawrence Bennett. Where does that sort of come from?
I haven't a clue. Everything was fine leading up to the last fight, and when we got there, he just turned into a dick. He started being arrogant, thinking of something he wasn't, and he just took that into the ring with him. So, there is a genuinely dislike. I just genuinely hate the guy. So, I'm looking forward to going in there and causing some serious damage to it.
I think she would.
Paul, how pleased are you with how you've come back since the Tete loss with 3 wins?
I'm very pleased, but I had no doubt I was going to do that. The Tete loss was done with. You just got to get on with it. Some fighters come back from defeats like that, some don't, and I have, so just onwards and upwards from that.
It says a lot about you with makeup as a fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm mentally strong, so that's a good part of my game, and that defeat, like I said, it means nothing to me. It just made me want to progress and learn more, which I believe I have done.
Francis, just a quick word on what made you decide to give him a deal. What did you see in him?
To be honest, Steve Wood's got to take the credit for banging on the door and getting himself a deal, because he believes in him, believes he can go on do great things. Which is Steve, you won't mind me saying, he's got a lot of experience. That doesn't mean he's old. But I think you've got people in boxing you trust and you work with, and Steve's obviously definitely one of those guys, and just very excited to have great talent on board.
Kevin Satchel, emergence of a lot of flyweights recently. You seem to be at the top of the pack of that, all of them calling you out. How do you sort of deal with that?
It's really good, because you're going to get that all the time, so I just get on with what I've got to do, and then see if I want to meet them out, I'll deal with it at the time.
Do you think there can be some big sort of domestic clashes in the flyweight division for yourself?
Yeah, there are these lines up, aren't they? You've got Selby and Butcher, then you've got
Bolton and Edwards. There's some great fights already, and then 2 winners fight each other. So there's some great fights already happening this year.
Obviously, Prince Patel as well, managed by Queensbury. Would that be an interesting fight for yourself?
Let's let him start a few more wins to see where he gets. Like, can't be calling people out just yet, can he?
What do you think of IFL with Prince Patel?
Just,
I don't care.
he's an interesting character.
Agenda. Must be excited about the prospect of returning home to Delhi for a professional fight.
It's good, and everybody expecting like more wins, and yeah, it's going to be crazy. Like, you know, lots of people interested in boxing, and we will organize a good fight maybe in June or July in Delhi. So that's going to be like a huge viewership, I can say that, and lots of people interested in boxing now. So all going good now.
Francis, how far down the line are you for the show in Delhi?
Like I said, he's obviously got Virginia will be fighting in Liverpool. He'll be on at the Copper Box in March. But plans are underway. I'm going out there to look at the venue that I want to do it at, which the first one will be between 10 and 12,000. I want to keep it, make sure that all the structure and infrastructure there is what we need it to be. And then we've got something huge planned for September, October. Not to put any pressure on ourselves, but it is going to be huge. It's going to be something that's never been done before. That's been done. Lacrosse, no joke. No, it's just what we want to do over there is we want to put in boxing on the map over there, and Virginia is the pioneer of that. He's the flag bearer has been for over 10 years for Indian amateur boxing, and he's taken a huge step to putting his country on the map in professional boxing by coming over here. So what we're going to do in India this year is going to be big news.
Stephen, it's the end of 46 July. Is this about reminding people how good you are? There's a lot of people talking about it this time last year, weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another big step up for me, first time around, so it's more important to make a statement and make another good performance.
Tom Stalker, ladies and gentlemen. In case there's any questions for us.
Tom, nice of you to join us, mate.
What's happening, James?
I'm very well. You'll be fighting for the European title again. How sort of happy or disappointed are you that it's not Craig Evans in the trilogy, so to speak?
Yeah, like I wanted the first fight, because the first 2 fights have been great, and I was great the first fight. He was better than the second fight, so still a lot for me anyway to have the third, and it would have been sweeter to win the belt fighting Evans, but I'm just glad that Francis and FLANAGAN and my manager Daniel have getting me the fight, and they're pushing me, and I'm still fighting for the great belt, and they believe in me more than anything, so that's where I've had a quiet Christmas, being in the gym all the time, and it'd be third time lucky.
Cheers, Tom.
Tom's enjoyed himself again, which is, I said to him halfway through last year, he's getting out the ring, he wasn't smiling, he was obviously not enjoying his performances, he wasn't enjoying, I don't know if the training wasn't right, or something like that, something in his head wasn't where it was when he turned pro. But that smile's back, and I think, that seems to have improved his performances. So, I think a regular Tom is a happy Tom.
I agree.
Ryan, you great win against Jamoy last year. It went under the radar. Did that make you feel a little bit angry?
No, it doesn't, Steve. It was a great performance, why would I feel angry?
There was very little attention outside of Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't bother me. It was a good win for me, it was a good win for the gym, so that's all I care about. As long as I get the good fights now this year, I'm happy.
Ryan, what is the plan for the rest of the year? Like, obviously this is a bit of a homecoming for you with the belt. You can show that off to people in your own city. looking to defend it a couple of times in Liverpool maybe later on in the year?
I don't know. We haven't really spoke about this year yet, but I wouldn't mind getting in there with some of the top lads in the division. You know, they've got McDonald and Askins there with world titles. No, I want to be fighting the likes of them lads. You know what I mean?
Any more questions for the Well, let's move on to what is a fantastic top of the bill. Two British guys who, you know, will be from two cities that notoriously have a bit of a history between each other. It's Liverpool v Manchester. It's for a world title. It's Derry v Terry. Terry's coming over to Liverpool to defend his title, and I'm sure Derry that will be doing everything he can to make sure it stays in his hometown. As we know, Terry had a fantastic year last year, and what he did to Diego Magdaleno was not, was not an anybody's. I don't think many people thought he was capable of doing that in that sort of style. It's just lucky that he believes in himself, and that his trainer Steve has done an absolutely fantastic job with him, and he's improving in every fight. Magdaleno was mandatory #1 challenger, so as far as they're concerned, he is #1 in the world. And you've got a guy who I believe is capable of being a reigning champion for a long time. But there is a guy to my left who will obviously want to put his point across on February the 13th, and and win a world title himself. Derry Matthews is I wouldn't say a veteran of the sport, but he's been there and he's been around and he's done it. He should have had his world title shot last year. If it wasn't for another governing body being dishonest and not keeping their word, then he would have had that WBA title that is currently sitting in Manchester should be sitting in Liverpool. But a few promises weren't kept, and a few issues with the WBA weren't resolved. So we guaranteed Derry a world title shot, and we provided it for him. We obviously, like I just mentioned, there is another version of the lightweight world title sitting over in Manchester, and I think the winner of this fight that's a natural fight to make. Anthony Croller's a worthy champion, and fair play to Anthony for what he did last year after coming back from his injury that was obviously inflicted outside the boxing ring. But the winner of that fight, I think, it's natural for them to fight Anthony in a unification fight. If it's Derry, it's another rematch. It's another huge Liverpool v Manchester fight, and it's like I said, a unification fight. If it's Terry, it's Manchester against Manchester. Two guys, same division, same weight, two world titles, and it's never. I don't think that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's ever been done before in Manchester. So there's a massive carrot. At the end of the stick. But obviously they've got to fight each other first. So I think for me this is one of the tastiest fights that could have been made this year, and we're lucky enough to have it pretty early on in 2016. I'm going to ask both the guys to say a few words and then open the floor to questions. So Derry, if you don't mind.
Just thanks everyone for turning out. Not just for me and Terry, but for the Undercard as well. It's a great show, it's a great fight, it's one I'm looking forward to. It's a rematch sort of after prize fight, and I don't lose rematches, especially against Manx, and I've got a habit of beating Manchester fighters for titles, for big titles. I've beaten Steve Foster Jr., beat Anthony Collins as well. So this time it's going to be a third time, and it's going to be for the full genuine world title, and it's one I'm looking forward to doing.
Thanks, Terry.
I'd just like to say, I think Derry's kidding himself. If he thinks he's beating me, he's got no chance. Beating me a prize fighter when I wasn't even a lightweight. Now I am a genuine lightweight, stronger, bigger, fitter, faster, strong, even tougher. I know fine well. Come the 13th, I'm going to be victorious by stoppage.
What happens if you don't stop me and you're in the later rounds?
I can do the later rounds, I've done them before.
Yeah, but you just said you want to stop me. You just said you want to stop me. So what happens if you don't stop me?
sort you out.
You just said you
I promise you I'll sort you out. I agree with Stephen Harmon, he applied pressure for 10 rounds on me.
How do you know I'm going to apply pressure?
What?
How do you know I'm going to apply pressure?
I don't know, you're going to apply pressure.
Yeah?
I don't.
Well, there you go. You just said Stephen Harmon applied pressure. How do you know I'm going to apply pressure?
Even if we work for 10 rounds and I still find a way to win, that's what I do. I find a way to win. I'm 29 fight, 29 wins.
Okay.
Got no chance.
So you're going to stop me?
Yeah,
What
well,
round?
I'm not giving you a round, but believe me, you'll
Can't be
stop.
that confident then if you're going to stop me, but you don't know what round.
It's definitely going to be a good fight. Definitely be a good fight. Any more to say, lads? Would you like to floor some questions in?
Derry, why would it be different this time? I know there's a price, but why would it be different?
Because it's 12 rounds.
Yeah, my last 2 fights haven't gone more than 2 rounds. You know what I mean? That's sort of,
That's why I'm saying because it's 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Because after 3 rounds, it's a different fight.
I'm the fittest man on the planet. There's no one fitter than that. That's what I do.
Mo Farah's fitter than
I
you.
train harder than anyone. I spar harder than anyone.
That's why you're punchy already. You've only had a handful of fights.
That's why what?
You know what? You know
You're
what?
like 49
Spar every
fights,
single,
you've
be
been
spar every
times.
single day. Sparring.
I know.
Fighting's fighting. So stop
Well,
saying
you're
you
not
spar.
sparring, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Why would I?
When I give you a pace, then
Behave yourself. Behave yourself. You believe me? If you're going off sparring, right? I've never won a spar in my life. But if you're going off sparring to fighting, you're just completely deluded.
No, what I'm saying is, I sparred you when I was a young boy now, man. You're 32, you're getting on now, you've been in hard fights. I'm young, fresh, fit, hungry, and I'm going to prove it on the 13th.
So you're going to stop me? You're going to stop me?
Yeah, we'll see, yeah. You'll go on your shield, but you'll be stopped, just man.
Right, what round? Pick a round then.
Sure.
Pick a round. Pick a round. Pick a round. You can't be that confident you're going to stop me, but you don't know what round.
Yeah, I'll tell you in the final press conference.
Derry hasn't been stopped since 2012, I think, Gavin Rees. What do you see that makes you think he'll go early this time?
Because I just know him. Boxing's
It's
about
not going to go early. He just said he doesn't know what round.
Boxing's about levels, and I believe I'm a level above him. I sound like a broken record, but I am. I wouldn't touch the fight if I didn't know I could win the fight. I know find out how the fight's going to go.
Thanks, Derry.
Derry, what makes you think you've got to win?
I think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to win. I know I've got it. Whatever you want. I'm not going to sit here and tell you my game plan. We'll have a game plan. We've got a game plan. And if my game plan will be executed, and I'll win the fight. Don't get me wrong, I respect him. He's a great fighter, but I win the fight.
Terry, you had a 5 or 6 hard back-to-back camps last year. Having the break over the new year, how sort of rejuvenated do you feel?
Yeah, it's done me a load of good games. They wanted the fight in December. I said I needed the rest. I made the decision to have the rest. And I said, I spoke to Frank, he phoned me and he said, what do you want to do, that fight could be gone? Well, I said, it won't be gone, it'll still be there, we'll have anything in the new year, when I'm mentally ready. I was more mentally tired than physically tired, like being in the gym constantly, boxing, thinking boxing every day, but I had a break, I went away on holiday, and I couldn't wait to get back in the gym. Now I'm soaking everything up like a sponge, learning. And this fight was always going to happen. Ever since prize fight, my coaches told me this fight's going to happen, and now it's here. So it's always on the cards, this fight. We've always been waiting for this fight to come along.
I know prize fight with a 3-round format, but does that give you sort of confidence that you hold a win over Derry?
Not really. Prize fight is nothing like he's talking 12 rounds. We'll see. Fight night, he's going to say he's going to win. I'm going to say I'm going to win. It's boxing, that's what they do, but I know fine well, come the fight, I'll be the winner.
There's a big carrot, obviously, of a massive unification fight. If either of you come through this.
I've never looked past the fight, no matter.
You've not thought about that yet?
I just think about the Derry fight and concentrate on winning that, and then see what happens after that. But I'll never look past anyone, no matter who it is.
Derry, your last fight, It's been quite a long time, so are you pleased like the wait is over now for your next fight?
Yeah, I am and I'm not. I'd like to box in December, but obviously I could have done 6 rounds, but I didn't think it was worth taking a chance in case I got an injury. It's part of boxing. I'm too professional. I've had a good long rest, like Terry's had a rest as well. And, you know, I've worked on things away from boxing, and conditioning and stuff. So, you know, I'll be ready. Fight night, I'll be ready. Terry will be ready, and the fans are going to get a great fight.
Do you see yourself as more of a 12-round fighter now?
Yeah, after 49 fights, I should hope so. But listen, we can fight. I can fight 20 rounds, but it's about what you're doing in a 36 minutes, what count, and I've got to make it count on fight night. I've got a game plan with Danny Vaughan, but we'll stick to, and I believe we'll win the fight.
What we're asking there about the winner fighting and Crawler, obviously you fancy a terrific record against that winning that draw. You'd fancy that one?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Andy Collar can't beat me. I beat him and I thought I won the draw as well, but I'm worried about what's in front of me. Got a big fight against a proven champion, and then we'll talk about the next fight, but let's check this fight out the way first. And then, you know, their team can speak to Frank and Francis and my manager Daniel, and we'll go from there, but I'm just focused on this fight now.
Francis mentioned about the fact that WBA chance was taken away from against Aubrey last year. Does everything that's happening, you fought hard to get this point in your career there, does that make it even more determined that you're going to grab this chance this time?
Yeah, because I remember last Christmas, I was on holiday and I got a call to say, cancel, you're going to have to come home from Mexico, and I couldn't get a flight home. I had to train out there, go and find a gym. And then he pulled out once, then he pulled out again. Then I was meant to fight Barossa. Thank God I never. I meant to fight Barossa. Barossa swapped up fights because he couldn't get a visa. And then he sent Tony Luis, who was another tough opponent. So I had to deal with him for the interim title. And I got told I was fight for the full world title, if not get rewarded the full world title. They never stuck to it. Then they asked me, now do you want to fight the semi-final? So I didn't see a point in fighting for the semi-final when I could fight for the final. And you know, financially and stuff, it was better to fight for the full final. And you know, here I am, fighting in my own city on a good show with unbelievable talent on the undercard.
Well, we said we'd get Derry a world title shot. After the first conversation we had probably 2.5, 3 years ago now. But that's one thing that we were guaranteeing. Thought we'd managed it last year, like I said, but the WBA sometimes are rule unto themselves. So fair play to Terry for coming over to Derry's home city and putting it all on the line, because you don't get many people that would go away from home, let alone come across from Manchester to Liverpool. So
30 minutes.
I'm not talking about the petrol price.
It's only me and everything, yeah.
It's very true. I'm sure there'll be a great partisan crowd here, and very much looking forward to it. It'll be a great night.
Francis, can you just explain what happened with the WBA? Because Derry was the interim champion at the time, and
he was going to fight for the title, and then he didn't fight for the title, and now he's fighting Derry for the WBO title. So I
think I was the only one in history to ever have a mandatory challenger for the interim world title, which is
basically what the WBA insisted. Well, we did a deal with the WBA where Derry would fight the winner of Crawler and Perez. Perez. It was like a winner for Cora and Perez, and obviously with when the draw occurred, it was still Derry would fight whoever walked out of the ring with that belt. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for coming down today. If you can't make it down to the arena, we are live and exclusive on BoxNation. and we'll see you all on Fight Week. Thanks very much.